got to boot camp, and I remember the first thing that they told me was, when I got off that bus, that drill instructor, I don't remember everything he said, but I do remember this. He said, "You will never achieve greatness unless you're willing to expend blood, sweat, and tears." And so, for the next 3 months, he proceeded to kill us every single day until we learned how to achieve greatness. And so I've definitely brought that principle into my life and into my ministry that I'm doing this. But when I was in boot camp, maybe a week in, they started talking about a young man that gave his life so that other Marines can live. And this young man's name was Corporal Jason Dunham. And this was back in 2004, 2005 time when they told me what he had done. And so I've kept that with me through all the years that I've gone, with the Marines and how I was raised. And when I started this ministry 9 months ago, I knew that there was something inside me that wanted to write a song for him. But before I did that, I had to read the book on him. And it's a book that could break your heart but make you happy at the same time. And so I started writing the song after I read the book, and it was just talking about this young man who grew up as a young American boy, just like me and you, everyday household in New York country. He had a truck, things like stuff that you probably boys will get into when they get older. And he joined the Marines too, kind of like the same way I did. He had some mess ups in his life, but he decided he wants to join the Marines. He always wanted to be a Marine. Well, they shipped him off after boot camp. They shipped him off to Iraq, and he was on a combat mission, and he was out in the buildings, running around the sand, and there was a terrorist who was walking over to one of his men, and his men started to fumble with this guy to try to put him in handcuffs. And that terrorist dropped a live grenade that was ready to blow up on the ground. So Jason's Marines kind of scurried away, but instead of running from the threat, Jason did exactly what a Marine was taught to do, is to give your life to save another Marine's life. So he jumped on the grenade with his helmet, and the helmet blew up, and he was able to survive it for about 10 days afterwards. And it's just such an example to me of what it is to be a servant, what it is to be somebody who gives their life, somebody who pours their love out and doesn't count the cost. Same with Jesus on the cross. And I was honored and privileged to find out tonight that Jason's parents are here with us tonight. Right over there, you will find Jason's parents. And every once in a while, God sends us human beings that are almost close to angels in the flesh. And every once in a while, we get to meet those type of people. And every once in a while, they get to sit among us at a concert. So you guys are so blessed to have these giants in the room. And one thing that I know that they said to me was that it's not us, we didn't do anything. It's Jason and it's you, it's for you tonight. But the truth is, the hardest job in the world isn't to be a Marine. It's not to go over and fight in combat. It's the parents of that Marine. It's the husband and the wife, the fiance, the brothers and the sisters. So I just want to say thank you guys for everything that you've sacrificed so that we could have freedom, so that we could be here right now, so I could be up here on the microphone singing my heart out, so that we could just enjoy the everyday life, so I could go home and enjoy my young 2 daughters and 1 son and 1 on the way. Couldn't do it without people like you and your son. So thank you, and I dedicate from the bottom of my heart this next song to you guys, because it's written for your son, and I hope that maybe it does your son some justice, because in the end, we're not going to give him justice on this earth. His justice has already been fulfilled, and he is in heaven right now. So you will see him shortly, in a couple of years, whether it be today or in 50 years. We will all be together again. All right, John, let's roll that thing, baby. I put this on the internet, and somehow Jason's parents got a hold of my phone number and called me 3 days later to thank me. So we live in an age where technology rules. Live the life like Jason did.
November 10th, 1981, Jason was born, a new day has begun. An American boy, you could see that he was. Brown hair, brown eyes with a high and tight cut. Red, white, and blue ran deep in his blood. His destiny set, a Marine he become. His mom just held him and stared at him, love filled in the air, an American son. He was all boy, you could see it in his toys. Guns, trucks, G.I. Joe stuff, cowboy boots and guitar with the drums. Blood stains on his shirt, a rip in his rug. He was all boy from his scrapes to his cuts. A soft spot for his mom, but he was so tough. He never got pushed, but he never pushed once. He knew how to fight, but he'd rather show love. Middle school, high school came and it went. The friends that he had blew away in the wind. A dream that he had was about to begin. Leader of Marines, safe place to be in. 3 months later, he was done with boot camp. He was the town champ, he was a new man. Sire, New York did a USA champ, but soon he'd be a target for the Al-Qaeda to shoot at. To lead the attack, it was coming alive, that dream that he had right in front of his eyes. He would never look back. His mom would remember and never forget. His first day of school, he was 6 and a half. He was so excited for kindergarten class. His mom took a picture with him in his backpack. She watched as he walked down the driveway. "I love you, Mom," blew a kiss and he waved. It made her sad cause he grew so fast, but in the back of her mind she knew he'd come home safe. She couldn't say the same, this time there was pain. The same little Jason that left that day was the same little Jason that left that day, but his haircut changed. He was out on patrol, leading his men, under control, defeating the enemy, pleading to God to get even with them. Suddenly a grenade was seen in the sand. Jason followed his instinct and prayed, placed his helmet on top of it, then he laid on his helmet. He gave his life so they could live another day. He just laid their American flags and thank you banners, lined the halls of his school with lanterns that the little girls made. They were in 3rd grade, they were the reason that Jason had laid his own life down so that they could be safe. He was the last, he put them into first place. The same little boy that spelt his name with the backwards J was the same little boy that died that day. A real life superhero, he was not fake with the camouflage cape. Jason just laid in his hospital bed. His mom cried tears, they'd fall on his chest. His dad to the right and his siblings to the left. They were all there, they were so proud of him. There's a special place in heaven for troops like Jason, yes for sure. Next to the saints on the 17th floor, all of our vets who had died in a war. His mom just stared him and stared at him, love filled in the air, an American son. He died in the same spot that he was born. In his mom's arms, he was home with the Lord.
you for all the vets and anybody who's ever served in a war or laid down their life for another human being. That's what we're called to as Christians. It's to service, just like John said, to be a slave, lay down his life. No greater love have a man than to lay down his life for his fellow man. And I have to say something here too. Right now we have troops over in Afghanistan, Iraq, and all those places, and they're fighting right now. They're fighting for our freedom. And people like Jason die every single day. But I'll tell you something else. Here in our homeland, we are fighting a battle. For those of you who don't know, we are at war here on our homeland. Right now, if you don't know, we are fighting a battle, and it's not of flesh and blood. We're not fighting human beings here. We're fighting a battle of immorality, and it's plaguing our society. You don't know, just look at the grocery store line. Look at the immodest women in the magazines, the billboards as you're driving down the highway. Turn on the television, turn on your radio, sexual immoralities, impurities. And guess who's on the front lines? Not me, not John, not the lie detector, you guys, the young men and women. You guys are out there on the front lines fighting in this battle between souls. And I'll tell you something. It's not me or John that's going to change souls. It's you young men and women. And I'll tell you something too. No matter what we do, there's nothing that we could say that's going to change somebody. It's the example that you guys set living the life as a Christian.